Hi guys, welcome to Superior Star Wars Show. Joe here again, and today we are just going to be going through... Hang on, wait a minute. What are we going to be going through? You said we were originally going to be going... Yeah, but I don't want to go through that. I never said about that. Right, I never agreed to that. Alright, okay. We'll go through what we're going to be going through in a minute. I will just make you guys aware, I've actually got a bit of an unexpected guest here today.
Hello.
It's our first video together.
This is where the fun begins.
Punch it.
So on today's video, I'm here.
I'm here.
Yeah, so we're doing one together. So this is going to be a bit of a discussion about the latest news and rumours and what we think about everything that's going on in Star Wars, really.
Yeah, just to follow on what Ryan's just turned around and said there, essentially it's just going to be one of many to come of obviously Star Wars news rounds. Essentially we're just going to be going over the latest rumours, the latest announcements, and just a plain on discussion of obviously what we think about them going forward.
Yeah, like, well, the main thing we've got going on at the moment is the Bad Batch.
Which, if anyone's seen the latest season of the Clone Wars, the last season, season 7, we're so excited for this. I mean, I know there's a lot of controversy about that season. Obviously, the Bad Batch arc, I personally think is brilliant. I know Ryan agrees on me on this.
Yeah.
The Sisters arc, yes. That's where a lot of the stick comes from. Don't get me wrong, it's great to see Ahsoka again, but the Sisters, I think his characters could have done without.
Yeah, like that arc, they brought Maul back in to kind of see him building his crime syndicate, but that was the only really good thing for me in that little story arc.
Exactly, and obviously the ending part of that arc as well. But the Bad Batch was one of the biggest highlights, I think, for me in that whole season. Obviously, see these renegade clone troopers that we've never seen before, and number one Wrecker, in my eyes, to be fair, I think he's the most badass out of all of them.
Let's face it, goes in there and punches the droid's head into their body, you know? Great.
Yeah, he just does not give a flying F, mate.
Love it. But yeah, so we've got the Bad Batch coming out. At first, I was actually a bit disappointed, maybe, because I was like, they're making a new series from continuing on from the Clone Wars, and I was like, okay, they've based this whole series on a tiny little arc in the final series of the Clone Wars, and I was kind of maybe hoping for a Ahsoka follow-on, or I don't know, maybe Rex and Ahsoka team up to carry on after the Clone Wars. How do you feel about that? Were you happy with what they've chose for the Bad Batch, or do you feel like maybe they could have been a bit more into it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I am quite happy, if I'm 100% honest. I know you're not the biggest comic book reader like I am in terms of obviously Star Wars.
No.
Obviously people watch channels like this to get all their comic knowledge. But I have come across the Bad Batch before, and obviously that is actually under the reign of the Empire, obviously with Vader himself. And, you know, the Bad Batch is, we can only interpret it as the Bad Batch, but it is as good as the Bad Batch under Vader's thumb there. And I just think they are actually a very good storyline to come across in the films. And I just think it's going to be great, if I'm 100% honest. Don't get me wrong, Ahsoka and Rex, I love them until the cows come home. I would love to see more of them. I think we will, which realistically leads us on to our next topic, really, for obviously the news and the announcements of the rumours.
Oh yes, we've got actors playing everyone under the sun rumours. You know, there's rumours for every character out of every series to be here, there and everywhere. So, do you think, I haven't read the comics, do you think the Bad Batch will have inhibitor chips that will make them do Order 66? Or not?
This is once again one of the other rumours going around at the moment, whether they actually had the inhibitor chips or not, because they were technically defect clone troopers. So whether they actually bothered even putting inhibitor chips in them in the first place is anyone's guess. From what I remember, and bearing in mind the comics that they showcased in the Bad Batch originally, like I say, they weren't known as the Bad Batch, but it's not classed as canon anymore because that was under Dark Horse Comics. But from what I remember, it was never highlighted whether they had inhibited chips or not.
Okay.
And they were just under Vader's rule. And if you get a side-by-side picture, which you can both see here, you can just initially see there's great big similarities there. I mean, look. I mean, if we look here and then we look here, for one, look at the Central Clone Trooper. He's huge. We can only say that's Wrecker. This guy is as good as Wrecker in non-canon. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of arc they follow on from this going forward.
So even I've learned something there because I didn't know the Bad Batch were in material beforehand. Canon or not, I didn't know that. But anyway, move on. Hayden Christensen's been rumoured to be in the Kenobi series.
Yeah, I don't know how a lot of people feel about that. I'm not even too sure how I feel about that, to be fair. I don't mind Hayden Christensen, to be fair, as an actor. I've only ever seen him in one other film. I think it was it Jumper or something? Was he in? Or
yeah, I don't think he's done much for his
No, I don't think he's done much. I don't think he gets a lot of work, bless him, to be fair. But don't get me wrong. You know, I liked him as Anakin. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people slate him, and you know,
I respect him a lot more now than when he first was. The sequel. Fudge. That'd be a beat there. The prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Has aged very well with me.
Yeah. Well.
So I know it a lot more now.
Yeah, that's correct. And I know our top 10 lists are a bit controversial. A lot of people, I mean, I posted on a couple of Facebook fans pages, got a lot of stick for it, but I couldn't give a flying fig, if I'm 100% honest, what your opinion was on that. I said it was my personal opinion, but we're that generation. We grew up on the prequels. Like I said, for you guys, you know, from the old generation, sitting there watching, you know, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi in cinema, we were like that with The Phantom Menace. That was our Star Wars, you know, it's what really got us into it. And yeah, it does age well over time. I do give you that. I prefer Hayden Christensen in Revenge of the Sith than I do Attack of the Clones.
100%.
He's a little whiny girl in Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
Whereas he does sort of mature as an actor in Revenge of the Sith. Slightly anyway, I think.
He's just very good. He fit the part. Lots of people notice more over time, but he fits the part so well, really, of Anakin. And so if he does come back in Kenobi, if it's a flashback or something we haven't seen before, or a false vision, probably wouldn't be a ghost because it's Vader, but if it's like a vision Kenobi has, because apparently Kenobi's going to be going through like a PTSD of some sort after Order 66 and everything, and him realising he's one of very few Jedi left.
Which is understandable, you know, how traumatic Order 66 was. And I mean, there's no reason Hayden won't come back, some form of Force Ghost. I mean, you know, if we obviously look back to the remastered versions of the original trilogy, The Return of the Jedi, they actually do replace the original Ghost with Hayden Christensen as the Force Ghost there. So, in other words, they are cementing that he can show up as a Force Ghost as Anakin after that period.
Yeah, but if Kenobi's set sometime after Episode 3, him looking after young Luke, because I think you might see young Luke, because there has been stories, I'm not sure if they're canon anymore, but of young Luke getting attacked by Tusken Raiders, and Obi-Wan coming to save him, and obviously Luke took a knock to the head or something along them lines, and thought just a dream. But if they play off that sort of thing, that'd be really cool. But yeah, Hayden Christensen, it would be good to see him back and playing a role that we all love. Well, no, I do.
It's very true.
Anakin back. What's not to like?
That's very true. And just to sort of touch on Anakin as well, I mean, you know, don't take our word for it. These are nowhere near rumours even. But, you know, there's so many more characters I think that they could obviously introduce to this Kenobi.
Yeah.
I mean, for a start, I think an easy one is obviously Bail Organa. And then obviously we have baby Leia as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an easy one because we see him in Rogue One anyway.
Yeah.
So it's no different, is it? And then of course, you know, the big one for me, fingers crossed, is obviously that we get a Force Ghost of Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon Jinn himself,
That
which
would be
was hinted
great.
at the end of the Revenge of the Sith.
That would be good.
That would be amazing. That would literally top off.
It would be a freak out moment. Seeing
Yeah.
that, to be like, wow.
It really would. But then again, it's all under wraps. So we're only speculating here what it could be. Hence, like what the rumours are of Hayden Christensen. It's speculation.
Yeah, it's I mean, also in Kenobi, I'd like to see maybe some more obscure characters come back. But imagine if it's on Naboo with Jabba the Hutt and all that lot, yeah? So imagine if Obi-Wan Kenobi got caught up in some sort of crime thing and he's just taking the good side and going, this ain't on. I don't know, if Hondo turns up in his first live action role. And I think that would be really cool because Hondo's always a great character, I thought, from watching Clone Wars.
Yeah, and I know there is speculation of a number of bounty hunters that could turn up in this as well. I mean, Aura Singh's a big one again as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got to finish off her arc because at some point very soon, after between 3 and 4, she does kick the bucket. Sadly, if you look at the canon comics. But yeah, there's endless lists there. We could have Bosk turn up. We could have Cad Bane. Cad Bane would be amazing in a live action role. I mean, if you saw our bounty hunter list, one of our it ranked in.
We both decided he should be top.
It was, yeah. Straight away we both said that because he's just amazing. So a live action of Cad Bane would be incredible.
Yeah,
to be fair.
good. But yeah, that's that subject. So Rebels. Rebels is apparently getting a follow-on. Also getting apparently done in the style, or like the artistic style of the season 7 of Clone Wars. So I think that's going to look really cool. If it's Ghost Team going looking for Ezra or anything, seeing Thrawn back, would be great.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously when we mean Ghost Team, we obviously mean what the remnants are of it. So obviously we do have Sabine, Ahsoka, as we obviously saw her as Ahsoka the White at the end of that of season 4, and then of course there is rumoured to be Rex, played by the great actor obviously who played Jango Fett, and of course we are also rumoured to potentially have Boba Fett be turning up at some point. Whether that's the Mandalorian or this series, no one's really 100% too sure. There's a number of characters being thrown out throughout these series.
Yeah, there's so many. Like I said, Mandalorian as well. So many people could appear in that. It's
once again,
sticking with Rebels, you know, we got we've got so many people. Like, because didn't Kanan and Sabine? No, not Sabine. Sorry. What's her face? I forgot her name. Pilot of the Ghost, Dan.
Oh, Hera Syndulla.
Yeah, they had a kid.
Hera Syndulla.
Yeah. They had a kid together, I believe.
Yes.
So that's another possible false sensitive.
Which we see at the end of Rebels Season 4, obviously. So, yeah, that is another false sensitive. You're absolutely right. That would be an interesting arc to go down.
Yeah.
I thought, personally, I know it's not done 100% too well, Rebels, and I don't see why it's not done 100% too well in the Star Wars community, because I think some story arcs in there are just great, and I think we could really touch on more of those characters, and just to sort of give a little bit of nod as well to Star Wars Squadrons. I'm so happy they're touching on Hera Syndulla for that as well. Little cameo in that trailer, if anyone.
Which we both missed in our reactions.
Yeah, we did originally.
Yeah.
It was bad quality at the time anyway, so forget about that. But,
but no, like you said, Syndulla being back would be great. Like, then let's move on to the Mandalorian. We've got everyone being rumoured for that.
Yeah,
from
literally everyone.
Ahsoka being cast. I'm here. They're looking for, like, they've started casting for someone of the same description as Ezra. You know, obviously having Boba Fett in it, and maybe there was a sneak peek in the first series because you never find out whose feet they are at the end of that episode in the sand.
That's very true.
So you're not sure who that is. I mean, that could be Cat Bane, it could be anyone, and that's what's so great about these new series. You're going to be surprised, and there's going to be twists and turns we don't see coming, and that's probably why we love them so much. The shock factor and just going, wow.
In Filoni and Favreau we trust.
Yeah, them two really are.
Yeah.
Disney, keep them, put them in charge of more things, please.
Yeah, who's this Kathleen Kennedy woman?
Yeah.
bye night.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that I think that actually is a good way of obviously going on to our last subject for this video. Actually, isn't it? Obviously segues and yeah. How many calories are in a pack of crisps? I think that was what we were going to do. But no, obviously it was. We were just going to have a quick discussion on both how we felt about the possible annunciation that Favreau and Filoni were trying to... There's a bit of a civil war going on in Disney at the moment between, obviously, Kathleen Kennedy, Favreau, Filoni, in terms of, obviously, what they want to do with the trilogy we've just had out. So, obviously, The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, and trying to get it erased from timeline. And I think we've both got... I think we're sort of on the same wavelength, but I think we've got slightly different opinions on it, haven't we?
Well, if we back out... I'll say my opinion first, yeah. Do I think they should erase the last 3 films? No. What a waste of time and effort. And if they did erase them and create another sequel trilogy, all the fans would just go, oh, it's just another money grab. So it's negative plus negative. I feel like they should keep them there. Do I think they're great films? No. They're some of them, 2 of them, I enjoy.
I was going to say, if anyone watches Ryan's top 10, one of them makes the top 3, so it can't all be that bad. But
yeah, yeah, exactly. I like them. No, I don't mind them as a bunch. I suppose I don't think I should get rid of them because I say it'd be such a waste of storytelling and like you've made your bed, lie on it. That is what happens now, I think. Do I feel like they should live off them or do more arcs off them films? No. I don't want to know a story about a kid that managed to use the Force to lift up a broom. I'm really not interested in that. I don't really care about what happens after the Rise of Skywalker. Let people's imaginations do what they want to do with Rey with a yellow lightsaber. I say focus on either... What I'm saying is, leave the Skywalker trilogy alone now. That's what I think they should do. Move on to other things. I mean, there's so much out there they could do with the Star Wars universe and galaxy. Why do they have to always focus it around the Skywalkers? There's so much more they could have. Go back to the Old Republic. Go do more series about the underworld, you know, of Coruscant or something. There's so much they could do. So overall, I don't think they should get rid of them, but maybe don't try to live off them.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, like I said, our opinions are pretty much the same on this. I think we're just slightly variant in opinions, but we are pretty much both on board. I don't think they should get rid of them either. Don't get me wrong, I've said in previous video, the Last Jedi was just a complete pile of trash. And in all honesty, I thought The Force Awakens was as well. Don't get me wrong, it was nostalgia value when it came out at the time. Oh, it's a Star Wars film. This is amazing. Yeah. But they're both garbage. Obviously, the only one half decent one that's come out of that is The Rise of Skywalker. I personally do like that film, as I've said before. If it wasn't for that film, I would be all for the trilogy just getting wiped from existence, if I'm 100% honest. But because that film actually sits in there, I'm a little bit, I don't know if I want you to get rid of it, really. And the issue is, obviously, again, as well, if you do get rid of it, the trilogy, then where do we go from there in terms of, obviously, following on from the events of number 6? Do we even bother following on from the events of number 6? Because, obviously, Carrie Fisher, bless her, is dead now. You know, Harrison Ford probably, I don't even think if you threw all the money in the world at him, he'd probably come back to that role now.
He's done with him.
The only one is obviously, you know, Mark Hamill might come back to the role. But then even then, I don't think he would. Although, actually, no, saying that, I think he would, because even he's publicly announced saying how bad those films were. And I think even he'd want to wipe the slate clean and, you know, do it justice. But it's just difficult, because we've got one member dead. You know, oh, Peter Mayhew, Chewbacca, bless him. He's dead now. I know we've had a recent guy different guy playing, but you know, it's still going to be the original. And Anthony Daniels is getting on a bit now, C-3PO. You know, none of the original cast is left. So I just generally feel we've done it, leave it, move on. And like you quite rightly stated, go towards something different like the Old Republic. So many fans of like KOTOR, the KOTOR games, would kill for a film like that. Even just a remake of the game, they would kill for a film like that.
That's true. also something I've been news related, and you're saying about the passing of a couple of people. Sadly, Grant Imahara, most known for Mythbusters, passed away. But most people don't know is that he actually helped build and operate R2-D2 in the prequel trilogy. He did, and he did a lot of model making. He did a lot of model making, you know, so much. Look into his stuff he's done with Star Wars, it really is good. It's really sad he passed away at, I believe, 49 years old 2 days ago from recording. Anyway, on a happier note, we've got a lot of Star Wars to look forward to in the future. If you feel like it's the right decision or not, there's going to be more Star Wars. EA have doubled down on Star Wars games, so hopefully there'll be a lot more Star Wars games in the future. It's Star Wars. It's going to keep going for forever.
There's a lot of things to look forward to, and just an FYI, this video probably won't get released until a couple of days later after we film this, but there is a new wave of Star Wars merchandise being released tomorrow. And this is actually from Hasbro. They have kept this under wraps for a long time. So we're all very excited from that, and you'll probably see more reviews for that going forward in the future. But like Ryan said, the games are hopefully improving. The merchandise is improving. We're super excited about the TV series and the films in general coming forward. Yeah, I just think it's an exciting time to be a Star Wars fan.
It really is. There's so much and a lot of unknowns to be explored. So, yeah, like I say, look forward to it. And if you don't like something, just deal with it. You don't have to slate it all the time, you know. People focus on such a little thing sometimes. It's like, just be happy you're getting more Star Wars, you know.
Yeah.
Just be happy. Like, if you're a fan of Star Wars, you should be over the moon the amount of content we're getting, like from all sorts, magazines, books, films, TV shows, a game show. You know, and in games. So.
Yeah, which I will just interrupt there and turn around and say, if anyone wants a good laugh, please watch that game show. It is hilarious.
Yeah, I think
so hilarious.
I think when I get home, I'm going to give it a watch because I hear it is a good laugh.
You should, which would be quite a good reaction video actually later down the line.
Who knows? When I get home, I might have a camera in front of me, watch the first couple of episodes, and just see how much I chuckle. Anyway, we'll say goodbye.
I think we'll say goodbye. Obviously, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Obviously, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, do all that stuff. Is there anything, obviously, any sublime message you would like to add there at the end, Ryan?
The message just be end off with. Everyone, just be good to each other. You know, it's hard times for everyone, so be good to each other, be nice, and enjoy Star Wars for what it is, you know. And if you do have anything to say to us, if my font's back to front on the camera, moan at me in the comments below. And
yeah, and I think just to end on what Ryan has said there, all lives matter, even Gungans. Maybe not, maybe not. Maybe not. Scratch that. Scratch that. I was just trying to be political. Do you know what? This isn't the channel to be political. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's where we cut it here because we might have cocked that up a little bit.
See you later,
Have
guys.
a superior day, guys.